all these people right here, they are now in handcuffs. Behind me, a group of about 50 migrants just got dropped off from the Mexico cartel. Bus full of migrants that are just being dropped off here in the streets of San Diego. So what's your plans here in the United States?
First of all, get a job, and then, get a lawyer, and after that, pay my taxes.
This is Cuba, California. A lot of migrants, especially Chinese migrants, have been coming over here from the Mexico side into America. I'm gonna show you guys how easy it is to cross into the United States from Mexico. Right here, I'm in America, right? Super easy. Now, I'm in Mexico, and you can just come right across. It's super easy. Just 1 hour outside of the city of San Diego, thousands of migrants are entering to the United States. Due to Texas securing more of its border, cartels are now moving migrants into the state of California. This is the same location where I had once seen a cartel van drop off migrants, but now the Mexican military has taken over the main entry point where migrants used to come through. Now migrants are coming through in this gap just east on the border, and as well hiking over the desert mountain to enter into the United States. We pulled over on the side of the highway and found hundreds of migrants that had just crossed over the border that were now camping out at a small shelter they had made. ¿Dónde son?
Brasil.
¿Por qué viniste aquí?
Brasil não deu mais.
Muy malo ahí en Brasil?
É, muito mal, muito mal.
¿Cuánto dinero pagaste al cartel?
A gente gastou bastante para chegar até aqui.
¿Cuánto?
Ah, bastante, bastante.
¿Más que 10,000?
Foi muito.
¿Podría decir cuánto?
Aí em base de uns 15 mil.
Where are you guys from? Ahí en Ecuador hay como propaganda o anuncios que están diciendo que ahora es el tiempo para venir a los Estados Unidos.
No, simplemente porque la delincuencia está terrible. La extorsión, no puedes tener un negocio porque te comienzan a extorsionar o te amenazan de muerte.
Los bandilleros.
Sí, las bandas. Las bandas.
Las bandas están en gobierno todo ahí.
Le dan miedo, sí.
Trabajar, ya hay que pagar para vivir allá.
¿De dónde es usted?
También de Ecuador. Sí.
¿De qué parte?
De la provincia de Manabí, costa.
De la costa.
Sí.
En la costa está terrible ahora, ¿cierto?
Lo que está, el pan de cada día, extorsión, secuestro, y si no paga usted, al otro día le matan a una familia. Uno viene dejando sus hijos, pero
Está bien.
dice uno a refugiarse acá para ver si la vida nos cambia, porque el país que no sé si nacimos en un país equivocado, con leyes equivocadas, con jueces corruptos, fiscales y jueces corruptos comprados con la misma delincuencia. Sí.
¿Y ahí dejó a sus hijos y a su señora?
Sí, 3 niñas dejé, sí. Y a mi esposa, sí.
¿Y ahora qué espera que puede hacer aquí en los Estados Unidos?
Que mi vida cambie, que me den una oportunidad, así, como un ciudadano del buen vivir. Sí. Que quiero salir adelante y algún día encontrarme con mi familia. Sí.
Y veo que tiene esta cadena aquí.
No,
¿Hay una historia de eso?
Es una hija. De mi hija la mayor.
¿Hasta ahora arrepiento su decisión a venir aquí o está feliz a estar aquí en los Estados Unidos?
Aquí donde pisé tierra sagrada, tierra bendita, estoy muy contento. Sí. Y un poco triste por mi familia y mis hijas, que ahorita hablé y me acordé. Sí.
Recently, Ecuador's president has declared a state of emergency for the country after Adolfo Macias, the leader of the biggest criminal gang in the country, escaped prison. Since his escape, gang violence has taken over the country of Ecuador. News networks have been overtaken on live television. Gangs have declared war on the government by killing police officers and other government officials, and now are extorting people to pay gang taxes to survive in their communities. Those are a few of the reasons why so many people from Ecuador are migrating out of the country. On top of the many migrants from Ecuador, there are also migrants from Guatemala, Colombia, and Brazil. So what's happening in Brazil besides politics? Is it lots of violence?
The violence, I don't know if I can say it here, but when this new president, Lula, take it to the power again, all the violence in Brazil is growing up. On jail, Las gangs were celebrating that Lula is back to the power. It's like this in Brazil.
This is from inside one of the prisons, and they were even celebrating so loud that you could hear it from outside.
So people are just running from there, and me too.
And what do the migrants think about Joe Biden?
They say he's a good president, and people in Brazil says that he is open the arms of America from the other people. That's why we came.
Typically, most migrants come from the Western Hemisphere because of the land connection between countries. However, recently in California, there has been a significant influx of migrants from China. And the journey for a Chinese migrant is drastically different because they have to cross many countries and travel overseas. China has also banned the exit of thousands of people from the country, unless it's for private business, which basically means for work trips, schooling, or visiting family. Simply leaving the country does not count as private business. So I try my best to talk to some of these Chinese migrants to understand how and why they are coming to America. Is the Chinese government sending you here?
不是，
Then how are you escaping China?
我拒绝回答这个问题。
How do you leave China?
步行过来的。
Sir, can you answer one question? How are so many Chinese people coming to America?
美国好，
But isn't China good?
中国也很好，
Then why are you leaving China?
美国更好。
America is better.
And after a few hours of being at the camp, Border Patrol finally arrived and they started to detain each and every single migrant. But this time, Border Patrol did something different. They started to arrest each and every single migrant, both male and female. All these people right here, they are now in handcuffs, and this is something I've never seen. And I was talking to Border Patrol, and they said, well, they entered in illegally, so we're gonna treat them and arrest them. And so these guys are underneath arrest right now. And a lot of these people are crying. They don't really know what's gonna happen with their life after they get through with this immigration process here, now that they're in handcuffs. ¿Supieron que eso iba a pasar? ¿Que iban a ponerles a esos? We followed the Border Patrol vans to see where they were taking these migrants, and they took them to the United States Border Patrol facility. With what seems to be like a never-ending news cycle of security threats and uncertainty across the world, I wanted to give you guys control of your internet security. That's why I partnered with Private Internet Access for this video. They are VPN for all your devices. The Private Internet Access VPN makes it impossible for your data to be stolen and leaked to unwanted scammers and cyber criminals. By not using a VPN, you are basically leaving a door to your passwords and information unlocked. Over 30 million people use PIA VPN to protect themselves on the internet. They have servers in 91 countries and 50 states, giving you freedom of geo restrictions, meaning you can connect to servers in other countries to receive information and access to content you otherwise would not receive in your country. For instance, I love watching The Office, but it's not on Netflix in the USA, but when I connect to a VPN in another country, I get access to watch it. They have a no-log policy, meaning your online activities remain private, period. PIA works on all platforms and devices, and your subscription will protect an unlimited amount of devices. By using the link in my description, you will receive 83% off with 4 months free for just $2.03 a month. That's an unbeatable value for top-notch online security. Check them out, you won't regret it, it's a great deal. And now back to the video. I asked many migrants that day if the cartel had any involvement of them coming into America that day. ¿Cómo llegan a la frontera aquí en los Estados Unidos?
Preguntándole a la gente normal, caminando. Duramos 2 días caminando, de Tijuana acá.
¿Había carteles que estaban manejando todo eso?
No, la verdad no vimos.
¿El cartel les dejó para entrar?
No.
¿Cruzaron por las montañas? Y los carteles le dejaron ahí y después dijeron ya tiene que tomar este camino.
Solo, camina y camina.
So the next day we went back to the border to see if these migrants were actually coming through all by themselves. And something weird happened. first thing we saw were two people putting up these signs for these migrants to follow once they cross the border. And you're gonna wanna pay attention to this because that same person who was putting up these signs shows up at the very end of this video. A lot of the migrants we spoke to at the camp down there said that they were coming through on the mountain and they had nothing to do with the cartel. So right now, we're walking on this path. We're gonna go hike up this mountain. We're gonna see if we can find any other migrants that are coming through by way of the mountain.
And along this path, there's a lot of immigration papers, diapers, clothing, cans of food, tons of water bottles. So that is evidence that people have been here.
We continued to hike the mountain for a few miles, however no migrants were coming over. We eventually reached a ridge that went over to Mexico. Due to not knowing what was on the side, we decided to stay back and fly my drone. On the other side, it appeared to be a cartel van loaded with migrants. We waited for a few hours, however no migrants came down the mountain. So we went back down the mountain and I spoke with some California residents. What do you guys think about what's going on here in California?
I mean, it's wild. I mean, we saw it coming for a long time. I'm kind of in a weird place because my heart does go out for people. Like, I know that there are people coming here for asylum and trying to find a better life. And if it was my family, I would do whatever it takes to make that happen. But at the same time, we have a country that we have to protect from things happening. You see stuff happening in like New York and Chicago and Detroit. And it's going to happen here.
What do you think about the border wall, for instance, right behind here, the border wall? It's all protected, and then you go about right there to the corner of it, and it's wide open.
Yeah, I mean, you can literally, anybody from, I would say, almost any age group can literally just waltz right over. I'm 6'2", I could take 2 steps and I'm over, So it's the easiest thing in the world to just cross over the border. There's no border patrol. We've been here for 30 minutes. Look all the way down, there's no border patrol at all. There's no drones, there's nothing, and where's the protection for our country?
And what's the governor here in California doing, Gavin Newsom doing to make it so people can't come here into the country?
Well, he's giving them insurance, and he's doing a lot for them, but he's not doing anything to keep them out. Here's what I think. I think that we have policies that are law. You can come through the front door of our country. You can knock on the door. You can seek asylum. We'll give asylum to you. I'm all for immigration, but we have to know who's here. It's like Gavin. He knows me. I know him. I told him, look, you wouldn't just open your front door and just let everybody come into your house. Pelosi has a wall around her house. If that's how you really feel, just leave your front door open. No, you don't do that because you need to know who's in your house. You need to feel protected. And right now people don't feel safe. And that's what matters is people need to feel safe. And they shouldn't feel safe because they're not safe. I mean, just in New York, what was it, just a few weeks ago? The illegal immigrants that beat the cops in the subway station, everybody just stood around and watched. We can't have that. This is a nation that's been built on principles and laws, and we need to stay that way or we will not stand as a nation.
Mm-hmm. I see you got the red cap on.
I do.
Do you believe that Trump is the answer to all this?
No, I don't believe Trump is the answer. I think he is an answer. I think that he's the best option that we have right now. I think that he would be better than what we have. If you just honestly ask most people, were we better 4 years ago? Everybody would say, yes, we were better 4 years ago. Trump's not my savior. I think, honestly, I'm a Christian, so I think the only answer is God. But I'm going to vote for him because he's the best for the situation.
Once these people cross the border, they literally just throw out all their stuff. It's kind of interesting. I mean, even right here, there's shoes, and they're nice shoes too, like a nice pair of Adidas, water, blanket. They get rid of all their stuff. That way, once they get detained, they have a lot less stuff to claim once they come through the United States. We've been waiting all day for people to come through on this mountain ridge. No one's coming over for some reason. We've been waiting all day. I even saw the cartel van. When I flew my drone, I saw the van right there. And I don't know why people aren't coming over, so we're gonna wait here. Maybe they're waiting for the sun sets and it's a little darker here for them to start pushing the people across the border. And sure enough, after waiting a few hours and as the sun began to set, a huge group of migrants got pushed over the border. Right. We just were parked in the car and then all these people just came out of the bushes literally right behind us. Where are you from, man?
Brazil.
And what brings you here to the United States?
Dream. Yeah.
And were those dreams not able to be fulfilled in Brazil?
The big dream is, here is a good country. and here we can make a little bit money, and we can try to help our family in Brazil.
Where are you from?
Brazil.
There was well over 100 migrants that were dropped off in this group, and I was lucky enough to meet one Chinese girl who was able to speak in English.
My mom.
Yeah.
I bring a baby.
She's bringing a baby right now?
Yeah.
Why do you come to the United States?
Because I think America have a good introduction.
Yeah, education?
Yeah.
Yeah. Is it bad in China?
No. In China, migrants is okay.
Does China want you to come to the United States?
No.
Do you have family here in New York?
Yeah. My family, 4 people, my mother, my father, and my sister and me go there.
Wow.
And we feel tired but so happy.
What was it like to bring your family here?
感觉很轻松。
It feels very relaxing.
Yeah. All these people just barely crossed over, and now they have found their shelter for the night. They'll be waiting here until Border Patrol comes, and then the Border Patrol is going to take them off. It looks like Border Patrol is coming right here in a Jeep, and then from there, they're going to be off on their way into a city in the United States. To understand better what was going on with the California migrant crisis, I met up with San Diego Supervisor Jim Desmond. And what's it like here in San Diego with the migrant crisis?
Well, we're getting inundated by the federal government, Border Patrol, the Border Patrol agents are great, but they get their orders from above. They're just dropping off 800 to 900 migrants a day here in San Diego County. And most of the migrants that they're actually dropping off are adult men and women, predominantly men, and people from all over the world, all over the country. We're getting a lot of Chinese, we're getting a lot of people from Ecuador, we're getting a lot of people just from Pakistan and all over the world. China is number one, though, here lately.
Is San Diego accepting the migrants? Do they want them to stay here, or are they trying to get them outside of the city?
We're hoping they leave as soon as possible, is what we're trying to, what we would like for them to do. But the federal government is giving no assistance and just dropping them here at our streets. So we're kind of at a whim of what's really going to happen, and we're getting no help from the feds.
How much do you think it's going to be costing the city and the state here in California?
Well, it costs, just in our policing services and things like that. And then the fact that it's, here we are, a tourist attraction here, a tourist city. And to have our airport full of migrants, sleeping, on the floors and things like that, is not a very good look to the city of San Diego.
And are they using a lot of resources here, like food that other Americans would typically need that are being used on the migrants here?
Well, I'm not aware of that because it's mostly nonprofit organizations are taking care of that now. We at the county, we were funding that effort. We were for about 4.5 months. It cost $6 million. And finally, my peers and I, woke up and said, hey, we can no longer sustain this here in the county because we were using local tax dollars that could have gone for our own streets, roads, infrastructure, our homeless problems, and everything else that we have here. Instead, we're giving money to the migrants, and I'm glad that ended, but now it's kind of left us in a vacuum here with the federal government continuing to drop people off in San Diego.
Is the federal government doing anything to prevent people from coming into the country here?
Not that I've seen. It used to be migrants would run from Border Patrol, and now they're running to Border Patrol. And what I really think is the problem, what it all comes down to, is jumping ahead of the line. We've got a legal system, we got a legal process, we got embassies all over the world, and yet we're allowing people to jump ahead of that line, and that's why the chaos that we have here today.
And with the homeless crisis here and the migrant crisis, what do you think the future is for San Diego?
Well, it doesn't look good just to have more and more people being dropped off here. We've already got about 10,000 homeless people throughout San Diego County, which is a lot, and we still haven't been able to fix that. But now to have people sleeping at the airport, I mean, it's basically become a homeless shelter, a migrant shelter, and that's really detrimental to us in the community.
After speaking with Jim, I headed to the bus station where they were dropping off all of the migrants. This is a bus full of migrants that are just being dropped off here into the streets of San Diego. Literally just dropped off about 100 people here onto the streets of San Diego, and now they're all waiting here at the bus station, and they're going to figure out where they need to go. ¿Por qué están aquí en la calle, aquí esperando?
Por migración nos dejó aquí y toca ir al aeropuerto, ver la forma por cómo llegar hasta allá.
¿Cuántos días han estado aquí en California?
2 noches en migración.
dos noches ahí en inmigración y después le echaron aquí a la calle.
Sí.
Sí. Wow. ¿Y le dieron un lugar para dormir o le dijeron ya váyase nomás?
No, nos subieron al bus y nos dejaron aquí y de ahí toca ahorita ver la forma de cómo llegar al aeropuerto.
Wow. ¿Y ustedes tienen que pagar por sus vuelos al aeropuerto?
Sí, toca pagar nosotros mismos, independiente.
About them just released me here now. Yeah.
So you were processed and then you were released onto the streets?
Yeah.
So yeah, we are waiting for the bus. Then after, when we get the bus, it shall take us to the airport.
And where are you going in the airport?
I'm going to Michigan.
Where are you from?
I'm from Chad, man.
How long have you been here in the United States?
Been here 2 days.
Ready for business?
Yeah, I'm ready for business, man. Yeah.
So what's your plans here in the United States?
Plan here in the United States, first of all, get a job. And then, get a lawyer to get things done. And after that, pay my taxes. As everybody do, man. That's the plan.
That's the plan?
Yeah.
How are you going to get papers?
Papers? It depends on the lawyer. I already got my case.
So where are you going?
Going to Compton.
Compton.
Yes.
And what do you want to do here in the United States?
Here, chill out. I don't plan to do anything, First of all, get my lawyer, as I told you before. And then, get paper done. And after then, get a job, pay taxes, and live like everybody else here.
Why did you come to the United States?
Come to the United States, because, it's danger out there in my country, My father, got a problem with the government and something like that,
What do you think about Joe Biden?
Joe Biden is a cool president.
When you got to Mexico, did you have to meet Cartel?
Cartel?
Cartel, the gangs?
Mexico is dangerous, a little bit. Not that dangerous, but, it depends on the money, It's their entire focus is about money. Not about killing, not about anything, It's dangerous, but for me, it's more safe than, if I go to Chad,
Yeah.
Because they're out there, they're going to kill me, There is no percentage to being live out there.
Why is that?
My father, has a problem with the government and,
Okay.
he got shot and killed, That's why, try my best to be here, and take the risk.
Oh, how much did you have to pay to cross the border?
I paid more than $7,000.
You paid the cartel $7,000.
Yes. More than $7,000, to be honest with you, yeah.
And did the cartel drive you right to the border wall?
Nah, to be honest with you, they left us, They didn't catch us, they just say, this is the border. We're gonna cross it. And we walked, We walked more than 12 hours in mountains.
Did you walk in a suit?
Yeah, with the suit, that's my biggest mistake.
Where's your family at right now?
Family, Saudi Arabia.
Saudi Arabia.
My dad has been dead in Chad 3 months ago, yeah.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, it's okay, man. That's life, bro. That's life.
Now you're here on the street, and so after that, did they just say, okay, we're gonna drop you off here in the street?
No, they just call my name, and they say, now you're free to go. You are clear. If I find work today, I'm gonna work next day. Immediately, I'm gonna work, man.
Yeah.
I don't need to depend on anybody. I gotta work,
All the migrants I just talked to here, they had literally been dropped off by Border Patrol, by immigration here into the city of San Diego, and they're literally just here on some corner here at this bus station. They don't even know where they're at. We had tons of migrants asking, where are we going, and how do we get to the airport, and how do we buy a ticket? They don't really know what they're doing. They're being given no plan, and they're just simply being dropped off here on some corner here in San Diego. Remember this guy who was putting up directional asylum signs at the border? Well, I also saw him at the bus station. Now, why is this so weird? In my last video, I talked to a lady by the name of Butterfly, and she said this.
This is no different than the other side of the wall. They work with the cartels to keep the human traffic line going.
The NGOs do.
Yeah.
So there are human trafficking people here in the United States working with the cartel.
Absolutely.
And then I found out he was giving out free bus tickets to the migrants. It really makes me question who this guy is really working for. What paper did they give you?
Paper?
Yeah.
For free bus.
For free bus?
To the airport.
All the migrants at the bus station were then moved to the airport, and we got word that more migrants are entering into the country through the CBP One app at the Tijuana border. ¿De dónde son ustedes?
Yo?
De Cuba. La mayoría de gente aquí son de Cuba. ¿Qué está pasando ahí en Cuba?
¿Qué está pasando?
Sí.
La democracia.
La democracia.
Ajá, no hay democracia, no hay derechos humanos.
¿Qué tipo de derechos no tiene?
No tenemos libertad de expresión, eso es una de las principales cosas que deberíamos de tener. No podemos opinar sobre lo que queremos ser o lo que queremos nosotros mismos porque no podemos. Es lo que la dictadura quiera.
¿Qué pasaría si ustedes si ustedes fueron y hablaron en público?
Nos meten presos o nos dan golpe o cosas así.
¿Acaban de llegar aquí? Sí. ¿Sí? ¿Cómo se sienten?
Bien. Bastante bien.
¿De dónde son ustedes?
De Cuba.
¿De Cuba?
Sí.
Wow, y su primer día aquí en los Estados Unidos.
Primer día.
¿Y por cuántos días o años han estado esperando este momento?
Muchos años. Muchos años.
Y en los otros países como Nicaragua o todos los países antes de los Estados Unidos, ¿por qué no tomaron la decisión para quedarse allí en uno de estos países?
Porque no nos sentíamos seguros.
¿Qué están haciendo su gobierno ahí en Cuba para que la gente pueda sobrevivir?
Para que la gente... El gobierno no está haciendo nada. La gente solo sobrevive con lo que puede hacer poco al diario en el país.
¿Cuánto es el sueldo mínimo en Cuba?
Sueldo mínimo.
Sueldo mínimo.
$10 al mes.
Viene siendo a la moneda, viene siendo
$10.
$10 al mes. ¿Qué piensan ustedes sobre nuestro presidente Joe Biden?
Joe Biden, bueno, gracias a él y a su política, bueno, hoy estamos aquí, mira, llegamos aquí a la frontera, nos atendieron aquí por CBP y la verdad el trato fue muy bueno.
¿Hay algo más que a ustedes les gustaría decir?
Bueno, que
estamos muy felices, muy contentos
de estar aquí.
¿Y algo que le gustaría decir a nuestro presidente Joe Biden?
Muchísimas gracias.
Muchísimas gracias por que la aplicación esté funcionando correctamente y que muchos cubanos también sigan teniendo la oportunidad de seguir aplicando y poder llegar aquí a los Estados Unidos a través de ella.
I then went to the airport to see if migrants were actually staying inside the airport. And it turned out to be true. However, because it was daytime, not too many migrants were sleeping around during the day. I believe some of the guys that are here right now are from the bus station that I was at earlier this morning. I'm gonna see if I can find somebody from the bus station that is now here inside the airport. We're about to head out. I just found my friend.
Yeah, man,
I just found my friend from the shelter, or from the bus stop. Did they just bring you guys right over here to the airport?
Yes, they bring us here, by bus, and it's a great job, And I say doing great job. Thank you, Biden. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.
And people here are nice. They give us food, They give us water.
Here in the airport, they've given you food?
Yes, there are ladies here, giving, free sandwich, free water. That's a great job, man.
Wow, so you feel a lot better here in the airport than you do out there in the streets?
Man. Yeah, of course. By the way, back in then I was talking about getting a job, but to be honest with you, I swear to God, I want to join the army. If there is any chance I can join the army here, it's going to be my pleasure, bro.
Thank you so much for watching this video. It's going to be very interesting to see what happens here in California with the migrant crisis. Give this video a like, subscribe to the channel, and I'll be responding to your comments down below. This is Nick, and I'll see you next video.